Hello my friends and welcome back to another video. Today is going to be a reading vlog and basically I am doing a 48-hour readathon with my patrons over on Patreon. It is called Fleeting Fears Readathon and basically it is all about short horror. So you can read novellas, graphic novels, manga, short story collections, anything like that. But really, you don't have to even read that. You can read whatever you want. There are no prompts. There's nothing really hard about this readathon. It's basically just to have fun. I was just trying to have like a little theme, a little slight theme, so that way if people wanted to follow something, they could. I'm using this time to get a lot of novellas off my shelves because there are some novellas that I have that I just don't reach for that often. I am just going to try to read as many novellas, manga, graphic novels as I can in 48 hours and see how well I do. This is just for fun. It's not anything super serious. It's just to have some fun with my patrons, and I'm gonna be sprinting all weekend long, so I'll be able to hang out and chat with everybody. So that's basically what this video is. I'll have periodic updates. I think I'm gonna do them every time I have like some sort of check-in to do, like if I've read 1 or 2 or 3 things, I don't know, I'm just gonna try to pop in periodically to give you updates. I'll try to make them as cohesive updates as I can, but honestly, I'm gonna be reading for 48 hours, so if I don't make sense half the time, that's probably because I'm tired and I'm not really sure how I feel about anything. We all know I take forever to actually get a feel for my actual feelings for something after I've read it, so my initial reactions can sometimes be all over the place. So these reviews might not be very cohesive. They're gonna be just like my initial thoughts after finishing each thing that I talk about, so it's just for fun. This is just kind of like a lighthearted reading vlog. It's just silly and easy, and I just wanted to have some fun with my patrons on Patreon, and that's really what this is all about. So yeah, I can't wait to start the 48-hour readathon. I hope everything is really good that I read. I hope everyone has fun, and I'm excited to see what I end up reading and if I like any of it. Hopefully I like all of it, but you never know. So that's enough for the intro, and let's get into the readathon. Let's see what I can read in 48 hours. Hello friends and welcome to the first check-in of the 48-hour readathon. We are 6 hours in and I have an update for you all. I have read 2 things so far. I was sprinting with my patrons, so I do feel like my progress is a little slower than it would have been if I was just reading like straight, because I was like talking and chatting and stuff like that. The first book I finished was Carmilla by Sheridan Le Fanu. This was the story that inspired Dracula, and I don't quite know my full feelings on this. It's very short. It was very fast and quick to fly through. Basically, this book is about the main character and her father, and one day this carriage ends up crashing and they end up taking in this girl named Carmilla. The main character and Carmilla have this friendship, but Carmilla's a little bit weird, you know? There's a little bit something about her. This was interesting. It's kind of boring, I'll be honest. Like, this isn't my typical kind of story. I just feel like not a lot happened, but this is a gothic story, so it's mostly, it just has to do with atmosphere and not a lot on like big things happening. So for me, it was just kind of boring. It just felt okay. I would give it a 3.5, maybe a 4. I can see why people really enjoy it, but for me, it just isn't anything like crazy special. It was really fast and easy, and it was pretty fun, I guess. I liked the story overall, but it was a little bit boring, a little bit too slow, a little bit of nothing really happening for me personally. I can see why it's a classic. I just don't know if I'm obsessed with it, but this was my first read for the readathon, and I feel like it was pretty good. I feel like I'm happy I got it read. I'm glad that I finally got to read this one. The next and last thing, like I said, I haven't read too much. This is Witches, the graphic novel. This was extremely quick. Obviously, it's a graphic novel, so I flew through it. I like the artwork enough, but I think the problem is I'm not super used to graphic novels. I'm more used to manga, and so for me the art is just a little bit different, and I think I just prefer the art in manga compared to this. This is just a little, there's just something about it that I'm not obsessed with in this story. The overall story is interesting. It's about this husband and wife and their daughter, and they move to this town, and things are really weird. I felt like the story was really confusing until like the end, when things started making sense. I just couldn't really follow along. I was just not really sure what was going on, and it was just kind of weird. It's not exactly what I would have wanted this story to be. It is a story about witches, but it's just a bit different than I think like a traditional witch story. So for me, this isn't quite what I wanted. The art was okay. The ending really upset me. There's nothing to it. The ending is just so abrupt, and that's it, and there's nothing after this one. So there's no real conclusion to the story, and I don't get any closure or answers, and for me that is something that I do not love in an ending. So for me this is more of like a 3-star, just because that ending and being confused the entire time wasn't really for me personally. So I wouldn't say I loved this, but I am glad I got it read and finally got it off my shelves. So that is going to do it for the first check-in. I am going to obviously read more because this is a 48-hour readathon, so I'm going to try to get as many things in as I can. I will continue to read until I go to sleep, so I will give you more of an update tomorrow when I wake up and I have more obviously to talk about. So that's it for right now. So I'll see you when I read some more things. Hello friends, we are officially 24 hours into the readathon and I have finished another book. This is the Hellbound Heart by Clive Barker. This is the inspiration for the movie Hellraiser. And honestly, I am not surprised that I really liked this because I really enjoy Hellraiser. I like the movies a lot, so I kind of knew going into this that I was going to enjoy it, and I actually found it to be very similar to what I know from the movie, so I liked that a lot. I think the only thing I don't love about this, which I already knew going into this that I wasn't going to get it, but I just want more about the Cenobites. Like, I really wanted, like, I don't know, I guess kind of more of like a deep dive on the Cenobites. I know that sounds weird, but I feel like we all know the bare minimum of the Cenobites, but I really would like, I think, a more detailed look into them. I did know though, reading this, that I wasn't going to get that. I had already heard from other people, so I knew going into it that my expectations were not going to be met in that aspect, but finishing it did make me crave a little bit more of the Cenobites. I was kind of like, ugh. How cool would it have been if we had gotten like a bigger look at the Cenobites? And I really would have liked that. I know that's not what I was getting into, but it just makes me want it even more after finishing it. But this was a fun read. It's very easy, it's very fast, and I feel like if you like the movie, you're gonna like this. There's not too many differences, which I liked. It just felt very familiar to the story that I already knew and loved. So yeah, I mean, I thought that was pretty nice, and I had fun reading it. Like, it was very quick, very fast-paced. It's very easy to get into and then finish really fast. So it was pretty much perfect for this readathon, and just perfect for me reading it in such a short amount of time. So I'm glad that I did it. I'm glad that I finally got off my TBR. It's just something that I feel like as a horror lover that I would want to read anyways, so I'm glad that it's finally, you know, off my shelves and I can say that I've read the Hellbound Heart now. So I'm currently doing sprints right now and I don't know what I'm gonna read next. I have a stack over here that I have to sort through and see what is speaking to me and what I want to try and get read before, you know, I lose any more time. I feel like I'm not getting as far as I thought I would in 48 hours, but I think I overestimated like my abilities a little bit. So I am going to look through my stack and find something else to read, and I will update you once I get some more stuff done. So I will see you in a bit. Hello friends, and welcome to another check-in. We are 33 hours into the 48-hour readathon, and I have a little update for you all. First, I finished The Necrophiliac by Gabrielle Whitkop, and this is a dark, gross, weird little book. It's only 91 pages, but this is about the main character, Lucien, and he is a necrophiliac. So you get a really disturbing look into the mind of someone who partakes in necrophilia. Definitely check trigger warnings because Lucien doesn't discriminate with who he chooses to do his acts with. So there's men, women, kids. Definitely check trigger warnings. I really enjoyed the writing of this one. I thought it was going to be a little bit harder to understand or a little bit harder to follow. It is translated. It's translated from French, but I just thought that this was going to be like, I don't know, a little bit more complicated for my brain, but it's actually a really easy read, and I feel like it was just really interesting. It's very gross. Like, I was a little like grossed out reading this a lot because, you know, it's necrophilia, but I did enjoy the writing. I did enjoy how the story was told, and overall I did, I guess, enjoy the overall story. It sounds weird to say you enjoyed something like this, but I did actually like it, and I felt like I was able to consume it in a way that I didn't think I was going to be able to. So it was definitely a fast read. Like I said, only 91 pages, so very short, thank goodness, because if this was any longer, I think I would have lost my mind. So it was a very interesting read. I definitely think a lot of people would be interested in this one, and I'm glad that I gave it a try. Then I read My Haunted Home by Victoria Hood. This is a short story collection. The stories in this are really short. Some of them are a little longer, but the majority of these stories are very short, like maybe 1 to 2 pages. So I know a lot of people probably won't love that, but I really enjoyed the writing of these stories. It was really like simplistic, but also very lyrical, and it was just really pretty to read. A lot of the stories deal with grief. You can tell that the writer is taking their own grief and kind of using these stories to, I don't know, as an outlet to, you know, understand it better and to kind of formulate more put together thoughts. And I really enjoyed a lot of the stories. I found them really beautiful. Some of them are a little weird and like a little, I don't know, they're just kind of, I don't want to say silly, but also they're just kind of like surreal and like weird and a little bit like off kilter, I guess, if that makes any sense. They just kind of are like a little odd, but I really liked them. I liked the idea of this collection. I really like the title of the short story collection, My Haunted Home. I think it fits the stories really well, and I think they all really blend together to make a bigger picture. Like, they don't all connect, but I feel like you can kind of see the bigger picture with each story that you're getting. And yeah, they were just really fun little short stories. They were kind of like bite-sized mini little short stories, and I really liked them. I thought they were a lot of fun. And the book that I am currently trying to finish up, I will probably finish it as I am getting ready to go to bed and as I'm laying in bed tonight, but that is The Wrong Number by R.L. Stine. This is a Fear Street story, and this is about the main characters Dina and Jade, and basically what happens is they are prank calling people, and the prank calls that they end up doing lead them to getting involved into a murder. And so far this is actually a lot of fun. I love R.L. Stine. I'm a big Fear Street person. I grew up reading Fear Street, so I really enjoy these, and they're just really kind of like nostalgic for me and fun, and they're just really like short and easy to get through. So I'm having a lot of fun with this one. I like it a lot so far, so I'm excited to finish it and see what kind of ending it has, which I will probably let you all know tomorrow when I actually finish it, because this is my last update. But I gotta go to bed, so I'll probably finish it sometime while I'm laying in bed right before I go to sleep, and then I will update you all tomorrow as I'm doing sprints again in the morning. I'm basically just trying to get as much other stuff read as I can to kind of end this 48-hour readathon. So I guess we will see tomorrow what I get done and how this readathon is going to finish. So I will talk to you all tomorrow. Hello friends, the 48 hours is up, so this is the last check-in for the 48-hour readathon. So let me show you what I read today, what I finished before time was all up. So last night I told you that I was in the middle of The Wrong Number by R.L. Stine, so I did finish that before I went to bed. I think I finished it around like 3:30 in the morning, 4 in the morning, I think, like right before I went to bed. I actually really liked this. It was fun, it was entertaining. It's a little bit predictable. I feel like it doesn't do anything like crazy or different, but I didn't really expect it to be anything wild or crazy or different because it's a Fear Street book. I'm very familiar with like what kind of story this is gonna be, but I had a lot of fun with it. It was very interesting. It was a lot better than I expected it to be. I thought it was gonna be like really dumb. It was a little silly, a little cheesy, just like how other Fear Street books are, but I did have a lot of fun with it. I'd probably give it around 4 stars because I really enjoyed it. Then of course I had to go to Tombs by Junji Ito. This is a short story collection. I will say a lot of these short stories I already knew. I think I've already read some of them, or like I'm very familiar with them at least. I wouldn't say too many of these like surprised or shocked me, but I did like and enjoy the collection. I would say the ones I really liked were Tombs, Slug Girl, The Window Next Door, which I was already super familiar with. I believe one of my other short story collections has that in there as well. The Bronze Statue I liked. Floaters I also really liked. So there were a few that I was like super familiar with and have read before, but I did like this short story collection, and I always have fun reading Junji Ito, so I'd probably give it a 4-star just because I had a good time with it, I enjoyed it, and none of the stories really disappointed me. Then we have a shocking new one, and that is PTSD Radio. This is volume 1. I had no idea what to expect with this one, and I'm still not really sure what this is. It's like a short story collection, but they kind of like tie in together and they kind of like connect. The imagery is crazy in this one. There's some really crazy art in this, and I was just like, every time I flipped a page I was like, what is going on? But it was really fast. I read it so quick. I was super absorbed into what was going on. A lot of the stories have to do with hair, which, you know, it was very creepy. I don't know. I definitely get what people are saying, that this is like unnerving. Like, it like gets under your skin. Like, it almost feels like nothing should be that creepy, but combined with like the artwork and just like the story, like that little hint of weird in the story combined with the art, it's like, it's I don't know, it gets on your skin. It's like creepy and crawly, and I don't know, but I loved it. I don't know, I want to give this 5 stars. I feel like it's either a 4.5 or a 5. I loved it. I thought it was so good. I'm so glad I have volume 2 because this like blew my socks off, and I want more, like more, because it was so fun. I don't think everyone will love it because, again, like, the stories sometimes just don't really make sense, but at the same time it's like connecting to other stuff. I don't know, but I can see how some people wouldn't love it, but I really enjoyed it and I thought it was so good. And then to finish out the 48-hour readathon, I finished The Sad Ghost Club 2 by Lizzie Meddings. This is so cute. This isn't scary, but It deals with ghosts, and this is a continuation from the first graphic novel, Sad Ghost Club, and it's basically about these ghosts who are, you know, dealing with emotions and, you know, anxieties and having a hard time making friends. And in the first story, they end up finding each other and becoming friends, and in this one, they make some more friends. And I just really love this story. I feel like it could make people feel so seen and so understood and less lonely, and I wish I had had this when I was like in college, because I just feel like I would have loved reading these. I still love them at 28. I think that they are so cute and I really like the messaging behind them. I just feel like little Erin would have really gotten something out of this, and I can definitely see how people would just feel so understood, I guess, and it just kind of warms my heart. They're just so sweet, and I just feel like people could read this and feel like they're not alone in the world dealing with the problems that they're dealing with, and other people feel similarly. So I really like these a lot. I think they're so sweet. I want to get volume 3 because I just think they're just so uplifting, and they make me feel good, and they like warm my heart, and it's like a big hug, and the ghosts are so cute, and I just really like it. And I thought it was really just such a lovely way to close out the 48-hour readathon, and it's probably like the least scary out of the bunch, but I still think it was fun, and it has ghosts in it, so of course I loved it. So this is the stack I ended up finishing for the 48-hour readathon. I feel like I did a pretty good job for reading this all in 48 hours. I feel like it wasn't as much as I wanted it to be. I didn't touch like 3 novellas that I was hoping to get to, but I think I was reading slower than I thought I was going to be able to in my head. Like, I think I was like, oh, I'm gonna be able to read so much in 48 hours. I'm gonna get so much done. And I mean, this is a lot, for sure. This is a lot, but a lot of it is graphic novels and manga, so I feel like that helped a lot. Otherwise, I don't think I would have gotten as much read as I did, but I'm still pretty pleased with this little stack right here. I'm pretty pleased with how much I got read, and the readathon was so much fun. I had so much fun sprinting every day through the weekend with my patrons and just chatting and hearing everyone talking about what they were reading, and it was just so much fun, and I just can't wait to do this again because I thought it was just such a fun, quick, easy, low maintenance, low pressure, low stakes kind of readathon, and to get some things off my shelves that I've been meaning to get off my shelves for a while that I just haven't reached for. So I felt like the readathon was a success and I had so much fun. So I hope you all had fun watching me read for 48 hours and update you on what I got done and how successful it was. You can let me know in the comments down below if you thought I did a good job. If you agree with any of my opinions on any of these novellas and manga and graphic novels and whatever I read, you can let me know if you agree or disagree in the comments down below. If you like seeing a video similar to this where I read a certain amount in 48 hours or 24 hours, let me know and I can do them for you in the future. If you did enjoy, please give me a thumbs up. That way I know for sure that you actually liked it, and that way I can do it again in the future. Feel free to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. We can become friends, talk about books, horrifying books, thrilling books, romance books, manga, all that good fun stuff. And with that being said, I hope you are having a great day, night, morning, afternoon, wherever you are, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!